Welcome, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Today is day 27, I think, of the tip of the day. Hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend. So today, what I wanted to talk about, and this is something that we discussed during our group meditation on Friday. We had a really long discussion, and this tip is something that we actually talked about. So one of the things I would strongly recommend is not only that everyone join the Facebook Live Q&A, which gives you a little bit of stimulation of, okay, here is my question, what should I do about this? Or it may give you a guidance. But there is another avenue, which is the group meditation, because you can have discussions with your peers. They are on the same path, and you will realize like an insight that somebody else has, or a problem that somebody else is facing, is something that applies to you as well. And you can make it your habit. So I was actually attending, and this kind of is a synchronicity between what we discussed on Friday and the fact that I think it was yesterday, Tony Robbins was holding this 5-day challenge. He called it Becoming Unshakable. But one of the things that he talked about during the challenge, which was yesterday, was, and this is exactly what I said on during group meditation, is the greatest joy, like what gives me the greatest joy is in being of service. And this is exactly what Tony Robbins gave as a tip, that being of service. And he has a story that he always, every year he talks about the same story, that he was really poor, and he had just $27 left in his pocket. He said, what should I do? Let me just go pack for the winter and go to this all-you-can-eat buffet and eat tacos and salad, all-you-can-eat salad bar. And when he went there, he saw this kid who walked in with his mother. And so Tony took out whatever money he had in his pocket. And this was his last $27 that he had. And he gave it to the kid and said, please treat your mother, because he loved the way the kid came in and pulled the chair and had his mother sit down. So that kind of service of not even thinking of your own survival, and just being in the moment and giving to another human being, you will realize that grace arises, right? So what happened to him the next day, he said he was looking through the mail, and one of his friends that had borrowed $1,100 from him sent him a check for $1,200 the next day. So that is how grace arises. So the thing that we were discussing on Friday, I was like, being of service does not even need to be something like you are taking money out of your pocket and giving it to somebody, or you're helping the homeless, or you're going to the food bank and volunteering. Those are excellent ways of being of service. And a lot of corporations kind of, as part of their volunteer program, actually encourage their employees to volunteer for these kind of services, where there's a registered 501c3 company and you're going and being of service at that 501c3 company, like a food bank or a food pantry or delivering meals. Yes, that is service. But what I feel is, even if you're driving in traffic, like what is your day, right? You're getting ready in the morning and being of service. Even when you're getting ready in the morning, the way you clean your counters, I call it consecrated action. Like, are you consecrating, you're cleaning the kitchen counter, making sure all the dishes are put away before you leave for work? And then you are leaving, you're getting into traffic. So being of service in that moment, and this is what we discussed, is you can bless the people around as you're driving in traffic, right? I actually, there's this Gayatri mantra. I actually play that during, when I'm commuting back and forth, kind of like puts me in that very meditative state, right? So that is of being of service. Then as you get to work, are you of service in the way you speak? Are you being of service? So back to the day 26 tip, are you contributing to the field, or are you taking away, or are you withdrawing from the field, right? So are you being of service as you interact with your coworkers? Are you being, do you have a sense of, within yourself, you have this great sense of compassion and empathy, and a sense of collaboration, no competition in you, and that you want to feel that you want to allow the other person to grow as much as you want to grow, right? So somebody, it may have been Tony Robbins during this Becoming Unshakable challenge, or I don't know where I heard it, maybe during this challenge. He said competition is people conspiring to make, or it may have been Dean Graziosi during his inner circle training that may have said that competition is about conspiring with to make another person better. So even competition is not so much as putting what we normally think the egoic competition, right? Putting the other person down and kind of like complaining about the other person. No, collaborate with the people that you work. So be of service to the people that you work with, and be of service. They constantly think, how am I being of service here, right? Whatever task you're given, how you write the email, how you pick up the phone, Eckhart would call it, are you allowing presence to flow from you into whatever task you're doing? But what I would change it to is, are you being of service? This also comes from the fact that, Dr. Joe talks about, are you being with the flock? Like he talks about this concept of emergence. He wants all his advanced community, or the students that follow him, to be part of a flock that flow. You know how you see that school of fish, like they change direction together, and if there is no communication, they just do, right? The same thing, there's a huge group of birds in the sky, and the way they move, nobody's talking to each other, but they just move. So his reminder to us are you with the flock, or are you not with the flock, right? Get with the flock. So if you're part of this Know Thyself Revolution group, get with the flock, get with the service-minded beingness of being service-minded, and you will see how much abundance comes to you, right? From that little small shift that, am I being of service here, or am I not being of service? And that is my tip for today. Have a fantastic day. Much love, many blessings. Thank you.